YouTube people. Welcome to Comics Covered, where Matt and I, the co-founders of Covr'D, talk to you about comic books, what's happening this week, things about our website, covrprice.com, and other fun stuff. Hey, Matt, how you doing?
Good. Just fighting with my internet, which is, I feel like that's like the story of my life. And every time I'm on a show,
You own an internet company, Matt. You gotta.
yeah,
That's one thing to invest in.
You know, it's California internet.
It looks like Matt is. What was that movie where you get messages from someone from the past? He's frozen. There he is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, this is going to be the whole show. So buckle in. This is going to be the whole show. So buckle in.
Jeez. Yeah, pretty much. Hello, everybody who's watching. It's good to see you guys. Sorry we weren't here last week, but we are here this week, and we have a pretty good giveaway this week. Let me show you. This is the Power Fantasy, and the cool thing about this is we're including the Chase variant. For those of you who don't know, a Chase variant is basically a kind of a secret variant that's put into the run that usually the retailers don't even know about, and they're just kind of intermixed. And so if you can spot the difference between these two, it's usually like a bloody sword or like, you know, glowing eyes or something like that. And you have to look kind of closely at the cover to actually even notice that it's a different cover. But it has like a lower print run, and it's fun to kind of hunt. But yeah, so the Power Fantasy did one, and we are giving away the entire set. So that is pretty fun. Is Matt gone? I think Matt's gone. Well, that was the show. Hope you all. Oh, no, there he is. Okay, great.
All right. Am I back now?
Yeah, and you look good. Now everything's coming through.
All right. Geez, I've only had to reset it like 3 times, so we'll see how many times I have to do this.
So if Matt has like 1,000 tabs open on his browser all the time. That's probably doing.
No, I don't. That's not true. I used to. Now it's just bad. It's just that I literally have 2 things open: this and then explore. So that's it.
Let's see. Crowdfunding campaign to get Matt some good internet. Yes,
please. Yes, if we can, like, I might need to get like satellite or something. I don't know. Jeez Louise. Yeah, it gets bad if you might try audio only. That's true. That's a good suggestion, Brian. Thank you. All right, so we're back. Basically, we wanted to cover a lot today. John, let's let you drive the site, since it will be awful if I'm driving it on my side. But we'll take you to our Shaker report that went out today. Just kind of tap into a few things that we wanted to cover today. One being kind of just like, it's funny to see books popping out of San Diego Comic-Con weeks later that we didn't even know about. And that was one entry in our Shaker report. There was a Deadpool Wolverine World War III, I think it was the title. Let that pop up. And so we're on our content page. We're on our Shaker tab.
Yeah, so this is just the if you're all familiar with the site, but this is the content section, and you wanted me to go to the
go to the Shaker report. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So as you guys know, all of the reports are in order right here, and we also have, like, on the homepage, all the latest reports. So anyway, here's this week's Shaker.
You're welcome, Love for Comics. Hopefully you enjoyed any of the fun extras.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So what did you want to talk about on the Shaker report, sir?
Well, there's a lot to cover this week that I kind of wanted to expand it on a little bit. And Doug, just on a separate tab if you want to bring up.
So as Matt's freezing, he's doing this on purpose now, I think.
Deadpool. Am I freezing?
You're freezing. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call you on my phone, and then I'm going to put you on speaker next to my speaker. How's that?
Now here, I'll take off my image and let's see if that works.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh well.
All right. Is it better? Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. I can hear you at least.
Okay. All right. Well, you could take off my little empty bubble here. Basically, what we're gonna do is go down to the Wolverine Deadpool book on this list, and just kind of highlight, pretty much just basically pull focus to our thumbnail, and might as well talk about whatever's on our thumbnail because we often don't do that. So
yeah, we've been called out for that.
So,
all right,
yeah, down to the bottom.
All right, Nightwing's on the thing right here, but okay, let's go to Wolverine real quick. This one.
Yeah. So this book popped up in the aftermarket earlier this week, and we're kind of like, hey, what is this? And then we were hunting for an image because the person that sold this book took a terrible photo. It was unusable. So luckily we found someone with a copy. And yes, this was given after Hall H. Marvel had kind of like an invite only after party, pretty much for like industry folks, and gave people still better than last week's show. Much
yeah, I was reading through that.
So this book was handed out to folks. Now, what I was like, it's kind of interesting to see this book pop up because, like, why did it take weeks later? It's because the people who got them probably didn't care about it, right? Like, and let alone even if it sells for $100, couple $100, they probably don't care about $100, couple $200. But one person sold their copy and got what? Scroll down. What did it sell for, John? It was like $263. 263. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. Wow. So that was an interesting sale this week. It's kind of one of those things where things are still coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, and this kind of jumped itself to the top of the list as one of the most valuable books out of that convention. It'll be interesting to see how many this calls out to the market. I'm sure some people held on to their copies. The question is how many. To me, I think it's an okay cover. Scarcity right now is what's driving it, but it, will it retain? Because, usually some of these books hold its value because it's a good cover. There's better covers that were in the set, but it's Greg Capullo doing Deadpool Wolverine right after Deadpool Wolverine the film. So, and it does get that special Deadpool Wolverine header, where the other books I don't think did. I don't know if that's true.
And I mean, throughout that whole movie, this is probably a homage to the movie to some extent, but this is exactly what's happening in the movie.
Yeah, and Cole, I don't know how to say your name. Colexter 34. One data point does not a trend make. That's true. We're not talking about a trend here. We're just talking about, hey, here's one sale. We found it interesting, right? And now the second sale will be even more interesting to see, does the next sale support this one sale, or does it go down? And we're not talking trends. Our Shaker report is not a trend report. It's just a books that hit all-time highs for whatever reason, or maybe it's the first sale it's ever seen, or the first sale it's seen in years. We cover those all the time. So it's not about trends. It's just about like, hey, this was a cool book.
Even though there's only one sale, it's still notable in the sense that, wow, it's sold for someone wanted it that bad. It kind of sets the bar for the next sale in a sense, right? But
it's always that second sale that will establish the market, and probably the third sale, right? Like the first sale, who knows? 2 times is a pattern, 3 times is a trend. Yeah, it's very true.
Studied statistics. I like that. That's a I've heard that before. That's true. It's 100%.
Right. And the reason we talk about it now, because we didn't know it existed, and we did. Then we were digging into it, like, oh, this is kind of interesting, and then asking around. It was like even people who are at San Diego Comic-Con, people in the industry, didn't even know this book existed. So that's kind of fun to me. Again, we'll pay attention to that next issue, and it'll be fun to focus on.
The
other cool thing was that.
Do you want me to show the actual San Diego Comic-Con like the list again, and we can just compare it? Like we can jump over to here and we take a look at what's happening.
We could jump into it. There's not a lot to probably discuss because I don't know. I mean, you can, if you sort by most valuable, but go by raw.
Oh, okay. Link. So yeah, we have all these lists obviously on the site. And let me just sort here. Okay. So yeah, by raw, you go. It's that Power Ranger one.
Well, that Power Ranger is limited to 50. Now, a Power Ranger book, I don't know if you know, like the helmet collectors. That is a thing. They've done a lot of these helmet covers, and people are actively always seeking these out. The employee one that they did that went to, I think, Nickelodeon and Boom and Hasbro. That one is very rare and very hard to find. It sells for like $900 raw. This one's way more limited to 50, and this was available in a blind bag. So basically, there's three or four different covers. I think three. And one was very common, one was a little more rare, and this was limited to 50. Super, super rare. So yeah, these blind bags are like selling for $100. And I think at the con they were only $20-$25. So it's interesting. It was a fun experiment. I love when people do these. It kind of ties into what the card market does, these blind bag experiences. We saw this a year ago almost now, maybe even more. Miles Morales, Panini did one with Miles Morales and had a cover that was 1 of 1, which is kind of nuts. I don't even know how they do that.
Whoa.
Yeah. So like let's talk about rare. So it's interesting when they do these blind bags. And you scroll down a little bit more, you see the Deadpool on there is now like the 4th most valuable. These gilded something's killing the children's are trending. The Ani Epitaph from the Abyss is hanging in there. And man, that Souza Micah, that was one of the buys at the con. It was $20 at the convention, limited to 300. Karis, that they're gone. And it eats you $200 right now.
Bad.
So
I got one. I think I bragged about that last time, so I'll stop bragging about
it. You did. Yeah, you keep bringing it up. It's great, John. Good for you.
I don't have many wins, Matt.
It's nice that you thought of the team and
No, Karis was great. I was talking to Chris over there and saw it. I was like, "Oh, I love that cover. I'll just grab that one." And look at that. I have the eye. Matt. I can just tell.
That's right. Yeah. No, Souza's good. Souza's I like. She's an interesting person for sure. That's it for pretty much San Diego Comic-Con. There's a lot of other smaller books. It's always shocking to me at how much these Do You Poos sell for. I mean, it's funny, but Mara Michaels has made a living off of selling one book with different covers, and it's so funny. Like a book will be trending, and then he'll have a cover based off whatever that hot book is, like a week later. He sells them out. So more power to him for finding a very distinct niche in this market.
And I like that he's tapping into all the kind of it's what Spawn, right? And then is it Spawn?
Yeah, it's Spawn 350. It's the McFarlane. Thank you cover. Yeah. And that I like that Transformers. That was the top shelf variant. That's doing really well right now. That's like $170, $200 variant. There's a blue version, and then this was the rare one, was the red version that I think they gave out as thank yous to retailers who bought the blue version.
That's cool.
Yeah. And people are a little upset because Campbell just sent emails out all this week. You can now buy these on his website. So they sold out. They sold out at the con, and then they're like, hey, they'll be up on. They told people they'll be on the website, and in a bit, and here they are this week. They're popping up, but not at the prices they were at the convention. They are selling for convention costs. are aftermarket prices. So,
and people will pay.
I'm sure they already sold out. Even then, because people still wanted one. But it's too bad it would have been nice if they were a little cheaper. But
you know what? I'm sorry. I just noticed because I Love for Comics said he likes this one. I think I picked this one up too, actually.
Well, that was a panel book. You had to go to the panel for that one.
I got the blue one then. Never mind. Son of a.
Yeah. We have all the panel info. I said, John, go to these panels for these free books.
You got to sit in a panel.
Yeah, what you get a free book. If you give me a free comic, I will sit wherever you want me to sit.
We did that for the Spawn Todd McFarlane Spawn panel in New York and got a really cool Spawn book. So that was worth it.
There was a Clutch. I was talking to Big Clutch the other day. He has a book on that list. I think it's the blue one you were talking about.
Yeah. That's where I picked it up from. I think from
him. So if you go to that one, just search Clutch. It's also eBay. I don't know. Well, can you search in there?
Yeah. Well, you can go to that book, and then it's a variant of that one, right? This one.
Yeah. So he showed me that he got a 101 where there was an error and it didn't print the background at all. So you see, there's this camo background in there. Mm-hmm. It's just white with the blue star, and I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." So it's there's this 1 of 1 variant to that. Zab said skipped all the SDCC covers this year. You have to go into. People don't understand. You got to go into SDCC with a plan, and if you're going to get exclusives, it will take you the entire convention to get to those exclusives because it's a mad race in the morning. To get from one side to the other, depending on where you need to go, it's very tough.
Dude, I went to the J. Scott Campbell booth straight away. Granted, I went in on a Thursday instead of the Wednesday or whatever. Went in Thursday, and they were sold out. They were completely.
Well, the line was capped, right?
Yeah, the line was capped. The line was capped, and I was like, damn it, I'll go to the next thing. Yeah, it really is, and that's why I'll be honest. When everyone asks, can you pick something up for me? I'm like, I can't spend the whole day waiting in lines. Last time I did that, it was a whole day of just rushing and waiting and rushing and waiting.
Asking people to pick up books at San Diego Comic-Con is like, can you spend a day on me?
How much do you like me?
Right. Yeah. BCC equals the GOAT. BCC, geez, they pump out exclusives like nobody's business. So it depends how you want to do San Diego. If you want, there's amazing panels. You could just stay outside the convention and there's all these fun activations going around San Diego. You could go to Artist Alley and every artist is there, so you can do commissions, pick up some of their independent books, which is one of my favorite things to do. I love to read new things. That was actually one that was in Artist Alley. That Kendrick versus Drake. We got one. I gave it to one of our writers who is a big fan of Drake, or no, Lamar. Sorry, not Drake. So we did get one, and I gave it to our writers. But that is a fun book. So it's kind of there's opportunities and challenges to you can't do it all at San Diego. That's the downside, but it's fun.
One thing I did use for cover price, and I was actually it was cool because not to talk about the site and all that stuff, but the wish list, putting all of the San Diego Comic-Con stuff on the wish list on my phone let me know exactly where to go and where to pick them up, and I could just go right to it. It was super easy. So I really liked it.
JD said, sounds like a service someone should charge when going to these conventions. You could, but that's what gets people in trouble is showing up into a line and buying books for other people. Everything is usually everything is limited.
We've seen on Wednesday and Thursdays, the show usually opens on Thursday or Friday or whatever. On Wednesday, you see people go to the lines who are already vendors buying 150 of something, just a stack. And
Wednesday is like a shark pool. It's just it's a mad rush of people trying to get to stuff first before the fans and everyone gets in there. Luckily, a lot of people do cap things pretty quick. And preview night is only a couple hours, but it is San Diego is a different beast. Tell it to the stand-in lines in New York. Yeah, yeah. New York's like a easier to get around San Diego. It's New York's a breath of fresh air until you get to the basement at Artist Alley. I hate Artist Alley down in the basement. It's I'm not claustrophobic, but that's a good place to get, to start being claustrophobic.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, like maybe Cover Price should offer the line standers, and there was an episode of Community. Remember that show where Abed like did a line standing thing and he owned the Comic-Con because he was just like the godfather of it, because he would have people stand in lines and get you tickets and get you and stuff.
That's fun. That's fun. It's Walmart during Black Friday, pretty much. I don't know. San Diego is not only the biggest comic book convention, but it's the biggest convention in the world, just flat out. So it's impossible if you've never experienced it. It's impossible to. Imagine Disneyland, but you shove 2-3 extra Disneylands inside Disneyland. It feels like that.
Vomit though.
Anywho, so the other thing I wanted to get into, so we showed this fun stuff on our list this week of connecting covers, and I wanted to show, one, they're fun, and two, kind of some of the stuff we're doing behind the scenes that we're kind of giving you a little taste of as we do them, and they'll be searchable in the future. So if you go to like Mega Man, John,
this guy.
Yeah. Oh no. But,
in the shaker.
Yeah.
There we go.
So these had a whole slew of sales. There was actually this is a 12. You can show the picture again. Sorry, John. This is a 12 issue set for Mega Man and Sonic. 12 issues.
This cover right here, watch, is that cover. See the Mega Man's face right there? Whoops.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, it's the top right center.
Yeah.
It's incredible. So a lot of these are selling. A lot of them are very hard to find, and so there was a slew of sales ranging from 45 to 75. There was actually a bunch of $95 sales, but the sales weren't completed, so we haven't brought them in because whoever the buyers are, they still haven't paid. So we don't bring in the sales until the sale is completely finalized, which is why
back out of those things.
Yeah, the sales fall out all the time, and they'll still show as sold on eBay sites, which is why I'd be like, oh my god, this sold for $700. Nope, it didn't. It got relisted, and now it's sold for $400. Connecting covers seems to be the trend. It is. So this was a fun set this week, and actually, if you want to click in our private chat, I have the link in there straight to our descriptor list.
Oh, let me find it real quick. In Slack or on here?
In here, in the stream.
Oh yeah, there it is. Sorry, my bad.
Yep.
The World Unite one?
Yep.
Yeah. Here you go. Get this thing off here. And so
now what we did was we're actually pulling these together as one set. So this will eventually be, if you go to one of these books, it'll be like, hey, this is part of the World's Unite Connecting set. And then you would go to this list and you can see every book, the title, direct links. You can sort by most valuable, the ones that are trending. And basically you can, it's just a quick, you could add these to your wish list. It's just a nice quick way. Those tag covers weren't connecting. Yeah, that's a good point. That they're not connecting covers. They're a cover set. That's a good point.
Is it a cover set?
34. Yeah.
It's this guy. This whole thing.
Yeah. So that is definitely a connecting set. I like to call them mega.
How is this not connecting covers?
What?
How is this not a connecting cover thing?
No, this is. Coltrix was talking about in our report. We talked about the there was a Son of Anarchy set. I don't know if the writer may have called them a connecting set. I'll have to double check that. But
yeah, this right here.
Yeah, basically right there. It's not a connecting set. It is just a set.
Looks
attached.
kind of connecting to. No, it's not.
No, but what I do love about that set is if you zoom in, there you can see. Well, you won't be able to see on here, but it's like their skin. You can see like the skin detail underneath the tattoo, so it's not just like a tan color. It's like there's imperfections in the skin that are underneath it.
Oh yeah, I see a freckle.
The other set, an actual connecting set was the Ultron one that we showed on the Shaker Show last night, and we also have on this report.
Where is that one? Below or probably below?
It's Avengers.
Oh, let me see.
I think it's at the top. First one.
Oh, my bad. Oops, sorry. Don't make
yeah,
me.
There you go. You're down. All right, keep going.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Ultron. Okay, so Avengers of Ultron Forever. So and here, if you want to get to these, we added the links in this report. So this book was trending, and I think it sold for like 378 and a 9.8. But here you go. We have the whole connecting set right here. Same thing. You can see all the titles and sort by the most valuable. And what's kind of fun about this is you can see the opportunities in some of the other covers, right? What was most interesting to me is that Iron Man is the cheapest one on the set. It's only like a $20, but probably because there's more. Oh no, sorry, it was the second most. Thor was Thor, or is it Quicksilver? Who is that? That's Thor. Yeah, Thor is the least expensive.
But he's so strong.
So it's interesting to see some of these books take off, and this whole set is a fun, gorgeous set. I think we have the whole picture that was up there as well.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah, there weren't any versions of these covers. They're just all trade dressed connecting covers. So, but this is what the full picture looks like without the trade dresses aren't on here, but this is what the full set picture looks like.
So that's 2 rows at 4 each, right? So 8 total.
And we were just going through some of I love mega sets. I kind of call this the mega set. It's 8. It's not as big as the Mega Man, but we dropped some photos in here, some other fun mega sets.
Mm-hmm.
If you have those up, John.
Oh, sorry, I'm going through the comments. Yeah, mega sets. The Mega Sonic?
Nope. Here, maybe I can bring them up. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So this is another mega set. Udon did this one for Street Fighter. Basically, almost every Street Fighter character. This is another 12-issue connecting set. It's not as fun as the Mega Man one, but if you're a Street Fighter, they're all there just hanging out, fighting. Some of them are just doing what they do. This is one I didn't realize existed until I was digging around for connecting sets. Mm-hmm. But let's see. Look at this one. This is WWE.
Oh, that's cool.
So this is another 12-issue, and this was Boom, I believe. Yeah, it was Boom. So they did a 12-issue connecting set across I think the first 12 issues. I forget what. I'll have to look it up. But
it's like a Where's Waldo.
Yeah, I love mega sets because they're very challenging to collect. And when you have them, I mean, they just look awesome. My goal is to maybe find some of these, grade them, and have a 9.8 set, and then figure out some way to frame it and put it up on my wall. I just think it would be cool to have some, Sting from the rafters. Yeah. You can't see John Cena because you can't see him, so he's not there. But this is just fun stuff
Matt, when connecting sets come out, can you buy them all at once, or do you have to spend that entire year?
No, these were the Mega Man Sonic ones were incentives for. Let's see if I can turn my camera back on now that my internet has settled a little bit. Let me know if I freeze. The Sonic one and Mega Man ones were all incentives, and I believe the Street Fighter ones were maybe B covers. Don't quote me on that. I think that the WWE ones were like 1/10s. I'll have to look them up. But connecting sets, let's talk ratio connecting sets. Yeah, for sure. Yes, ratio connecting sets. We can talk.
And that's what you were saying with Mega Man, right? It was those were all the ratios.
Yeah, those are ratios. And I don't think they were all the same ratios. I think there were various different requirements for them. Where the Ultron one, they were all 1 in 25s. And to make it worse, is like it would be like the same issue. It would have 2 1 in 25s. So that makes it extra hard for our tracking. But
so I mean, just to have the comics, I mean, like the Mega Man one, I was doing the math real quick, or was it the Mega Man? One of I think the Mega Man. It's going to be about a $500 to $900 buy-in to get all those covers.
If you're buying at market prices, yeah. There have been sales in the past year. There were 2 sets that sold, and I believe they sold the whole set sold for like $350. I think one sold for $400.
That seems low. I mean, for the effort involved in getting it.
Yeah, I mean, if you wait for someone to sell it, altogether, you do get a bit of a break on the price. Now, were all of them near mint? That's a question. You never know. It's impossible to show all the details of that many books on eBay because I think they limit you to only 10 photos. So you can't even show every issue. But
Void Rivals has a connecting set.
Void Rivals does have still going. They have a really big connecting set. It's an all vertical set. It kind of reminds me of the Divergic. Divergic did but they're all 4 cover connecting sets. He did it for the Ultimate books. I think so. Was it the Ultimate books? It was around the Ultimate Fallout era. There was a series of whatever no, it wasn't just Ultimate. It was across everything. I don't know, but those Divergent sets. There was like a Wolverine set. There was like an X-Men set, a Spider-Man set, which is where the Miles Ultimate Fallout 4 had a 1 in 50, and that was part of that set, and obviously super valuable.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
you want to talk about the you had a Sonic set, I think, in here.
That's what we showed. Yeah.
Oh, that was the Mega Sonic. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. The other thing we wanted to kind of touch upon, which I thought was kind of fun, and also kind of talk about some of the, we get some comments on our social media, kind of talking about this stuff. On our top 10, Gwenpool 1 showed up in the 2nd spot, and people are like, "Why is this trending? Why is this on here?" And if you read the write-up, it's all about because she makes she made an appearance in Fortnite as a skin for the first time. If you buy the battle pass, she's the first skin you get, and then there's a bunch of Gwenpool challenges in this season of Fortnite. So what's fun about this, and you can say, hey, this is a silly character, don't love this character, whatever. What happened was people who don't read comics are like, I know who Deadpool is, but who's Gwenpool? And then it sent people looking her up and then sent them to eBay to buy this because they didn't even pick up her first appearance. They went straight to this issue, Gwenpool 1, just because they are curious about her. And what, a lot of the quests, she is a silly character in the game, a fourth wall breaking character like Deadpool is himself, but a little more anime-ish and fun than Deadpool, in my opinion. So
she's got a parasol. I mean, that's just fun.
Right. But if you go to the skins, I think we have those shots there.
Yeah.
So this is the first one that pops up. You get that skin automatically. There's a Lego version, and then the next tier you get her dress, her secret identity, her Gwen identity, and then there's also if you go to the next one, we show like you can see there's a dark Gwen. If you do all the Gwenpool requests, you get the dark Gwenpool skin as well. And there's a new Doom one. They actually had a Doom skin a few years ago, which is the more classic look. That's the big, like you gotta finish out the entire battle pass to get that Doom armor. Suri's in it, Emma Frost is in it, War Machine, and they also have a Patriot version of War Machine. I don't know if you guys play Fortnite, but these do have an effect on comics, lo and behold. And what I like about it is that it gets new people into the hobby, into the industry. People picking up comics who may have never picked up a comic before. So I see this as a good thing. This exposure to these characters is good for the industry. So when you're out there, try to not shoot the stuff down if you can. I think it's good for people to find the stuff and welcome these new readers into the industry, into the hobby, and it'll only keep it going for.
That's a good point. I know we were talking a little offline about that, just like how there's a lot of people who just kind of shoot down other people's picks and buys.
Yeah, so why people buying this is dumb. This is the dumb book to pick up, and it's like, okay, yeah, it's some people. I mean, the $100 sale was probably from a fan, a Gwenpool fan. But there are a lot of new readers that are coming into this book and who are just interested in the character. And now she's probably going to have a bigger following, and that's good for her, and that's good for the writers that work on that book. And ultra fans who have been following her for a while are going to see an uptick on her books across the board.
I'm always happy when I see stuff across different media and bringing new people in. You go to Comic-Con, we were talking about it earlier, like, most of the people there don't even collect comics. They're just there for fandom of the story and everything. And it's crazy, but yeah, that is the entry point of getting people curious about comics and wanting to collect. And like, it benefits our industry and what we all want to do, because the more people doing it, the more comics they'll make. So
yeah. That was a lot of the stuff we kind of wanted to touch upon. I don't know if you guys are a Fortnite fan, but I haven't played in months, and I kind of came back just because I did want that Gwenpool skin, so I signed up for a new battle pass just to get that. And then it's kind of funny when you're talking to other people in the industry, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we play Fortnite. What's now we're exchanging IDs and meeting up to play a few matches." And the Marvel activations are always fun in Fortnite, because you get the abilities of whatever their central characters are. Like, you could get Doom's abilities, and they have a whole bunch of Marvel Easter eggs in there and fun Marvel weapons that make the experience pretty fun to play around in.
Derek, I was just so the other day I was reading one of my I just got through all my Invincible omnibuses, and I was in heaven. And one of my wife's friends came over, and she saw me reading. She's like, "Oh, you read comics? Oh, that's kind of cool. That's cute, neat." And I'm like, she's like, would a kid like those? I'm like, a kid can't read these. These are way too adult. They don't even, like, there's some people who aren't in comics. There's still that stigma. But Jeff, our lead engineer, back-end engineer, he said, there's actually some stats out there that kids that read comics have higher vocabularies starting out in school than other kids, because they're reading, and comic books use high vocabulary sometimes. And it's just they're actually engaged with the subject matter much more. So for your son, read those Moon Man comics.
Right. Yeah. The other thing we're going to touch upon, like, one thing we plan to do. So Gary does a lot of our retro or look back videos, where we look back at our top 10 from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. We're going to start doing every other week on our channel, and he's gonna, because he just got overwhelmed by doing them every week. So we're going to we have the thumbnail here for the one that we're going to actually record. We're debating doing it live. We'll love to get your feedback if you want to do this live, or if you want us to record it. Right now, we're going to try recording this and then push it out. This Reflective was from 3 years ago, and it was when Riri books were on fire. I will tell you a little precursor. This was one of the most brutal top 10s I've ever encountered 3 years later. It was tough. And if you just want to jump into it and read the article, it's live now. It came out on Wednesday.
So that's the question, though, right? Is like, we're going to do this article. We think it's important, but I was saying to Matt before the call, like, sometimes it's hard to hear that these comics aren't doing well, you know. And Matt made
Yeah.
a really good point. It's like there's a good list and there's a bad list. Like you need to learn your lessons about comic books, and you're never going to become a better collector unless you see when stuff starts like going down or when that peak is and it starts crashing.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of things that happened. Eternals #1 was also on this list 3 years ago. I mean, literally, it was post Endgame. We're still in the middle of COVID. It's post Endgame. We're moving into. We were 2 months away from Eternals releasing, and all the hope and excitement that was there for the future of the MCU. You know, it was palpable, and it moved a lot of books. And 3 years later, I mean, it was a pretty rough one. So we'll go through that, but we do feel there are opportunities too. That's the whole point, is like, what did we learn? Where are these books? Where can these books go? Yes, subscribe. So it's just a fun exploration of not shying away from books dropping in value. But what does that mean? Why did they drop? What were the reasons? What do we take away from those experiences to make us better collectors, and learn how to navigate and you know, hopefully increase our comics values and not buy at the height.
Yeah. Well, the conversation around that is always the fun part. Like, you're like, okay, because we all remember when it was hitting and it was like really high and people were talking about it and there was speculation, but no one else talks about it. Nobody else talks about like the losses in a sense, right? And the fact that we do, I like that. I think it's more well-rounded and kind of like all-encompassing of what's happening in the aftermarket.
Yeah, people talk about the losses, but in the doom and gloom, hey, comics are dying. I can't, like, look how bad this book is. You know, it used to be worth X amount. Now, don't even bother. Which is not the conversation. The conversation is a lot more hopeful. It might not ever be at that all-time high, but there's still, you know, there's still hills and valleys for those books. Like, I remember, and we can go into it on the show, but I remember Riri taking off when she came out. It was an immensely popular spec book the second that book came out. So, you know, if you bought that book at cover price and it's now selling for $30, $40 instead of the $150 it was 3 years ago, you're still good, right? Yeah. You're still good. So it all depends where you were and how you bought and when you bought. Were you really going to sell 3 years ago, 2 years ago? You know, that's the thing. A lot of people don't. But we'll jump into that this weekend, and we'll share that with you guys. It's a fun, it's a really fun reflective. And the week before that, if you want to go back, we didn't do a show for this, but it had Ultimate Fallout 4 Acetate 2 years later. So I was really hoping to do a show to talk about that a little bit more, because it's interesting to look at that book 2 years later and where it is now. A little tease is like, you know, it still is way down from when it was like crazy, but that whole drama helped it stay somewhat valuable, more valuable than it would have been without the drama. Yeah, Acetate Gate. Acetate Gate.
Were you going to talk about that on a different show, or do you want to get into that?
No, I don't think we'll touch upon it on this weekend show. We can kind of go back because we missed it.
Yeah,
if you want to read that article, it was last week's reflective 2 years later. It's a fun look back. It's an interesting look back. Lots of lessons learned in that one. The market was never the same after that. But yeah.
What retailer was that again? That was
it Black Flag?
Sounds familiar. Sounds about right.
Something like that. I don't think they're in business anymore. But because a whole bunch of other stuff came out after that.
Great points too. Like, yeah, 100%. Like, you know, comics are for reading and enjoying the stories and for not trying, but it is fun to know that you own something that's worth $1,000 and you didn't know it. You know, that's always like a cool little fun aspect of it.
Absolutely.
For the stories, and it's just one of those things where the hobby itself can pay for itself, and the hobby itself literally is like that thing where you're like, oh, I'm into this, I love this, oh my god, my collection's worth $15,000. I didn't know that. So
the difference where the market is today than it was 10 years ago. It was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and then before that, people would buy a comic because they wanted the comic, they liked the characters, like the storylines. Like what I would do is like, hey, I like that cover better. I'm going to buy that cover because I like it better, right? It wasn't because I bought it because I thought it was going to be worth money. I just bought it because I liked the variant cover more than the regular cover. And they were usually only a couple bucks more, $5, you know. And then it would be like, if it goes up, I'm just going to tuck it away in my box. If it goes up in value, awesome. And you would watch it and you pay attention, and you'd have those books like, you know, you picked up Saga and be like, oh, wow, this is a $50 book. That's crazy. Walking Dead #1. Wow, it's $1,000 book now. I like bought that off the stand. You know, it's kind of fun. It gets you excited about. It does scratch that speculative itch. But we were trained to let things percolate, right? In today's market, wants immediate value. They want a book that they buy today to be worth something tomorrow, or even tonight. And so the patience to just hold the book for like 10, 15 years doesn't really exist in today's market. Cleveland said, give it time. I've collected for 34 years. The value comes with time. Absolutely. That's exactly what we're trying to get into. Like if you just let things, I can't tell, like our Shaker report, there's so many books that we go to that came out, 30, 20, 10 years ago that are selling for hundreds of dollars now. But I mean, there was actually a book on this, all those like Ultron covers, you could have bought them 2 years ago, 3 years ago for $5 a piece, and now they're, creeping up to $100. Those Mega Man Sonic books, you could have bought all those for $5 a piece all day, every day. And now you're paying 75 to 95. And yeah, Culture says he buys them because I like them, keep them because I hope they might be worth some more someday. Otherwise, they turn in trash like England.
The crazy thing is, look at like what was that, the pedigree, the Comcast collection, or the
Promise collection?
No, it's right here. It's the Fantast.
Oh yeah, the Fantast collection.
Yeah, Fantast collection was like someone just collected them. His father collected them, and he was obsessive about it. And then eventually he passed on to his kids, and it was just this multi-million-dollar collection. Insane.
Yeah, there's a lot more drama to that story too. He neglected his family.
Yeah,
at the expense of his collection. Yeah. That's the crazy part of that story, is that the collection actually ended up destroying the family.
There was also an addiction, but Zabit brought up a good point. Like in terms of the acetate gate stuff, like shit got real. I mean, it was like everyone on the internet was talking about it. It
was a soap opera. I mean, the amount of influencers that were in the middle of it. What's that?
The wife stealing part was crazy too.
Like, yes, the Colton Crane having an affair with the guy's wife. I mean, it kept topping itself, and it was just like it was. I mean, this is no secret in terms of the comic book industry has always been ripe with drama. Like it goes back to like, I forget the story, but I think there was some beef between Jim Lee and Silvestri. I think Jim Lee stole Silvestri's girlfriend and married. Like there's all these stories that the insider, like all the industry folks, have about each other. That there's all this drama built into it. And now everything that happens in real time now just goes straight to the internet. So we get all the drama.
Let's never backstab each other, okay, buddy?
That's right.
You stay away from Brooke. My wife. I say my Batman voice.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, okay. Wait, what do you mean by that?
Now you don't want her?
Now you don't want my wife? Jerk. So, as you guys know, we are doing a giveaway on that note. We're doing a giveaway for Power Fantasy. We're doing both the variant set, the Chase variant, and the regular Matt is always so nice. He always gives away really freaking cool books and cool.
Yeah, Image sent us a set of these, and we're like, cool, we'll just give them away, which is what we like to do. So it's fun to, and what's nice is there's not many people watching right now. So every time you show up, there's 35 people. We just lost one as soon as we showed the giveaway. They're like, no,
the wife stuff scared him away.
That's right. Oh man. So the fun part is you have really great odds. We give away $50 to $100 books every one of these shows, because it's books that we get from the retailers, and
comics like that.
Yeah, well, we're all about sharing what we get, so that's what we do for our writers. So if you ever want to be a writer for us, you just we give books to our writers too. So we definitely
we also pay them. Just FYI,
we also do pay them. Yes,
it's like feeding the fish, just throwing out little bits of food. No, it's also payments.
Yeah, but it is fun. We try to take and we always say like, hey, if there's a book out there that someone's looking for, we'll do what we can to help people track those down. It's not a service we'll offer to every single one of our users, but due to time, but we can always see what we can do.
Also curious to hear from you guys real quick as you are typing in #power for Power Fantasy variant set to win that at the end, which we're doing in about 5 minutes. You guys want t-shirts and stuff like that. If we were to put together a shop and start selling some t-shirts and stuff, would you guys want that? Is that something that would be helpful? We'll do it, but only if people want it.
All right, I'm gonna help out Covr'D 34, who has said he's driving. So I'm gonna try and sign it. I'm gonna try and enter into our own giveaway. And if our name gets pulled, he'll win. He'll be the winner for that.
Can you enter into? I guess you can. Yeah. Okay.
Let's try it out.
That's very nice. I'm going to enter myself in here as well. Wait, we're both.
Now we're just getting out of control. All right. Let's see.
I just like to start winning.
All right. #power. I'm going to put this in. This is for you. For you, Colt. I don't know if I'm even say that. Covr'D 34. Here we go. There we go. We'll see if we win our own giveaway.
Is that your ads coming through?
What's that?
Oh, that was so weird. That was weird. My Spotify kicked on. Anyway, well, that's good to hear that you guys want shirts and stuff. If we make them, we'll also give a bunch of them away. I mean, they'll probably be part of our giveaway prize as well. So yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. All right, keep entering. We got 16 entries, and there's 34 of you guys watching. People don't like free stuff. It doesn't make sense to me. What's going on?
It's all good. Maybe people don't know. I just
muted. I can't hear you.
Really?
How do we lose Matt? Wait.
There you go. Can you hear me?
Oh, I know what it is. Sorry. Okay, say something.
Hello.
I figured it out myself.
Like this is a test. We're gonna get so much better at the show. This is us just trying things out. So please be gentle with us.
It's Friday. It's Friday. Yeah. I hear Matt. Okay, it was me. Maybe I was just messing with them because of the wife stuff.
Small Black Crown wants size small, please and thank you. Yeah.
Gonna make those muscles pop, huh? Nice,
right. Extra small.
Just tight, just like a superhero costume.
Sometimes it's just fun to get too small of a shirt. And just if you need a day that you just need an empowering day, you get a too small shirt and you just were like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then everyone else looks at you like it's just you feel powerful. Everyone looks at you like, get a bigger shirt. What are you doing?
Nope, this is what I do. Concrete sandals. I still have yours. I was hoping to do the show last week and send it together. I do have your Witchblade still. So I will throw an extra book in there. We have actually a bunch of Witchblade stuff. So I'll add an extra Witchblade book on top of it.
The good thing about Matt is he's slow to ship, but when he's slow, he feels bad and he gives more free stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think everyone that we sent out stuff to, we may have like won a $50 to $100 book, but then got $200 in books. You know, $150 to $200 in books. So
Matt, we're on a few comp lists from different publishers, so they give us a lot of stuff. So Matt's always very generous, and we just want to spread the love and make sure everyone.
Well, and my wife tells me to get rid of these, so this is my way of doing it. It's just because it's overtaking the house. Zabit can confirm. Yep, he got or he or she, you never know. Yeah, Derek says slow is fine with me. Just saying. Yeah, it's all good. I was a recipient of 3 Something's Killing the Children instead of 2, and the one that you got was actually a good like $90 book. Like it was definitely a pretty good one. I think so. What was that? The freeze on. I think I gave you a freeze on. Anyway.
All right.
Yeah. So we try to give a little extra. So should we run this thing now? Are we good?
Yeah. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to turn on the cool music just to give it a little vibe. I like that. I like the song. I don't know. All right. Let's see here. All right. #power. Just get in there. If you haven't entered already, type into the chat #power and you will be entered for this awesome chance to win Power Fantasy. Let me hit that again.
And the book is good. If you guys haven't read it, I actually really enjoyed it. I read issue 2.
What did you like about it?
I sent a preview of issue 2, and it's good. I like it a lot.
What did you like about it?
It's more so like how superhero books, they're always like it's battling, right? It's fighting, using their powers, fighting against each other. It's like, what if superheroes had the ability to basically destroy the world, and if they fight, they'll kill millions of people? So this book is all about the restraint of not fighting and de-escalating conflict.
Using your words.
Using your words, but they're also these superpowered beings with huge egos, and they don't like being messed with, and it's a very interesting dynamic because you feel like they're always teetering on world destruction and keeping the world safe, like the others, keeping the world safe from that happening.
Matt, I use superpowered words though, so probably just as bad. All right.
I enjoyed it a lot. It's a good read.
It sounds cool. All right, I'm gonna start this. So if you win, you know the drill. Either reach out to me or Matt, John@coverprice.com, Matt@coverprice.com, or reach out to us on Instagram. DM us with your ID and everything. I'll take a little screenshot of you, and Matt will ship out your book for you because he's a nice guy. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Let's see. Is our name in there? Are we popping up?
I didn't see us. Okay, SRS Esquire. We got a lawyer in the house.
Great.
Don't sue us.
Right.
It was Matt's fault. He did everything.
Now I really got to get the books out on time.
Contractually, it's a verbal agreement.
Right. Exactly.
Congratulations. Congratulations to you. Just email us, John@coverprice or Matt@coverprice.com, or hit us up on Instagram.
Before we leave, Colster asked why can't we get our FOC out earlier? So one, we are going to provide the same way you could go to a new release tab. We will have an FOC tab, so you can review it weeks, months in advance. As they pop up. Our picks don't go until Saturday or Sunday morning because our writer is working and has to start researching on Friday nights and throughout the week, and then writes Saturday morning. Then our graphics guy comes in and builds the article, and by the time it gets out, it's Sunday morning. It's literally as fast as we could go right now. So yeah,
it really is balls to the wall.
Yeah.
The real reason is Matt wants to hold on to the power and control it all.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
They saw people saw us in there, so we did appear. So.
All right. That's how you do it. All right. Well, Matt, any final words before we?
No, thanks for joining. Look out for the reflective for the 3 years look back. Next week will be the 4-year look back. I love that's right smack during COVID. It's always fun to revisit that difficult time in our lives when you're stuck inside buying comics. So it'll be fun to see what that list entails. I love COVID age books. COVID age books. Well, it's such a snapshot in a moment in time. But we'll get into that next week. All right.
Also, just wanted to say thank you to all you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button and all that stuff. But thank you for sharing your Friday with us. We hope you have a great weekend. And join us next week, all the different shows. And yeah, love you guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.